Minglaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We've got the latest news and reports. With countries around the world making efforts to prevent the recent outbreak of the virus, it's also important for us to know the coronavirus prevention in Myanmar. For what's important to know in this time of global health crisis, our reporters will give us stories on Myanmar students' experiences in Beijing during the coronavirus epidemic. A story coverage on second Italian food festival that's coming soon to Yangon. And the last report on the improvement of Myanmar libraries. We'll definitely get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at local news. President Win Myint urged ethnic affairs ministers of states and regions to make more efforts in making peace, unity and development of respective areas as he met with them at the presidential palace in Naypyidaw Tuesday afternoon. The president also highlighted the important participation of ethnic affairs ministers in peacemaking efforts of the government as the country is still facing armed clashes in some areas where non-signatories of nationwide ceasefire agreement are operating. He also urged the ethnic affairs ministers to enter into negotiation for removing doubts, worries and disputes among the ethnic people. The president also offered assistance from the union government to the ethnic affairs ministries of respective local governments and advised to foster collaboration for the welfare of ethnic people without having a regional and political bias. State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, chairperson of the Central Committee for Development of Border Areas and National Races, visited No. 1 Basic Education High School in Daungji Township in southern Shan State Tuesday. The state councillor met with the school children and asked about their most difficult and favorite subjects, their favorite country, the Union Day, and their future goals. In her speech, the state councillor said her visit to the school was to help the children in pursuing their education as both school children and teachers are important for the schools. She also explained the objectives of holding the Union Day on 12th of February. The state councillor continued by saying that one of the advantages of children is that they have a lot of time in their future and that they need to spend the time effectively for the country, while they need to cultivate friendly relations with each other. She also advised the teachers to teach the children with kindness. A daily central-level meeting on surveillance and control of coronavirus was held Tuesday at the Ministry of Health and Sports in Naypyidaw. Union Minister for Health and Sports, Dr. Myen Tway, called for beefing up surveillance and raising coronavirus awareness in the areas where Chinese nationals are living during their stay in Myanmar. Besides, the awareness about the deadly virus should be carried out at factories where foreigners are working together with Myanmar employees. The Union Minister told the attendees that the ministry distributed about 240 mobile tablets to health officials and workers in Kachin State, Shan State, North and East in efforts to disseminate knowledge on coronavirus infection to the people. He disclosed that the ministry has formed the Clinical Management Committee to make the treatment effective, saying the ministry's readiness for providing medical care to patients timely even if patients were infected with the virus. The meeting also discussed the health condition of 19 patients who are being kept under watch and quarantined as they have high fever and temperature. The attendees of the meeting also reported on surveillance at 3 international airports and 27 border checkpoints. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Novel coronavirus, which started in Wuhan City in China, has now become a major issue across the world in treating the virus-infected people and taking preventive measures. But there was no confirmed case in Myanmar so far, and Dr. Myen Tway spoke at Piduluto on Tuesday explaining the preventive measures the government is taking in tackling the coronavirus in Myanmar. Williamson reports.
Coronavirus, which has now spread in many parts of the world, resulted in the death of around 1,000 persons in China, according to the statement released by the Chinese government. According to the statement released by the officials in China, there are more than 40,000 infected cases and around 2,300 suspected cases. Most of the neighboring countries have also already confirmed the presence of coronavirus, including Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, and India. However, so far there is no confirmed case of coronavirus in Myanmar, according to the report released by the Ministry of Health and Sports. but around 10 suspected cases across the country. Therefore, Pitulado discussed on 11th of February on the preventive measures taken by the government to contain the virus from affecting the people further. Raising the question concerning the coronavirus at the 15th regular session of 2nd Pitulado session, Dr. Sengmya A. of the La Constituency said,
Wuhan coronavirus စပြီး33ရက်အကျော်မှာစားယောဂတဲ့ရှစ်ဆပို့ပြီးကူးစက်နိုင်စွမ်းရှိလို့နိုင်ငံတော်အစိုးရအနေနဲ့ယောဂကာကွယ်ရေးပညာပေး
If we compare the spread of coronavirus to that of SARS, after 30 days of the case reported, it was learned that coronavirus is spreading more than 8 times faster than SARS. This is why the government needs to be very cautious and preventive to protect the people from being infected. As the situation is getting worsened in some of our neighboring countries, this is the right time we need to explain what the government is doing for the worried public. As per according to the report by the Ministry of Health and Sports, we have increased number of suspect cases, which means that we should not take preventive measures very lightly. We have been informed by WHO that the risk of getting affected is very high in Myanmar. The public are also worried of being infected by the virus, knowing that there is no cure for the virus. The report of 5 virus infected entering into Myanmar also worries the public greatly here in Myanmar. Therefore, I am here to request the responsible officials from the government to give us the clear message on this issue.
In response to the question raised by Dr. Sengmya A., Union Minister for the Ministry of Health and Sports, Dr. Myin Twe said,
I wish to speak on this issue for a certain time, but due to some reasons, I was not able to attend Ludo's session to speak on it. This coronavirus, which is also called acute respiratory disease by WHO, does not have the cure yet till today. But it has been found that medical treatment method for HIV is also somehow effective in treating coronavirus patients, but it is not a confirmed treatment method. But we have already collected 3 types of medicines in our hand in case newly found report is confirmed effective in the process. But I want to make it clear that our physicians are fully qualified to perform their duty, and we don't need to go to other countries for the treatment. When it comes to preventative measures, we started taking careful preventative measures from 5th February soon. Soon after we got the news of this novel virus, knowing that this is a new virus which we have no record or any other related knowledge, but we have not found a confirmed case in Myanmar till today.
According to Dr. Myin Twe, the virus-infected person don't have the symptoms of the virus within 14 days from the first infection. Therefore, it is hard to combat the virus. To tackle the virus effectively, the public have to involve actively. The Ministry of Health and Sports also stated that by the 3rd week of this month, it will be able to operate the case of coronavirus in Myanmar. Some of the preventive measures suggested by the WHO for its member countries are active surveillance, early detection, isolation and case management, contact tracing, prevention of onward spread of 2019 nCoV infection, and to share full data with WHO. This is Williamson for MI Radio.
That's a report on the coronavirus prevention in Myanmar. All right, it's time now to check on weather forecast. There's a ray of brilliant sunshine, a few clouds in Yangon during the day, while it will be clear in the evening, becoming hazy later. And air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups. The highest temperature for the day will be at 34 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 16 degrees Celsius. There's plenty of sunshine in Naypyidaw during the day, while the night will be clear and cool. The highest temperature for the day will be at 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 10 degrees Celsius. Delightful weather in Mandalay with plenty of sunshine during the day, and the night sky will be clear and cool. The highest temperature for the day will be at 32 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 14 degrees Celsius. The Chinese New Year holidays are coming to an end in China, and there is some delays in going back to work and starting this year's university semesters. Myanmar Radio team reached out to Myanmar students who are still living in China to gain some insights and information. Here's a report.
Hello everyone, this is your reporter Dora reporting you from MI Radio. Chinese New Year holidays for the working people ended last weekend, and most of the Beijing residents are going back to work. Meanwhile, large numbers of employees and students from other provinces in China still have to consider during the outbreak of the novel coronavirus. After the long holidays, our MI Radio team contacted some of Myanmar students in Beijing and asked about the latest situation and changes in Beijing concerning the novel coronavirus outbreak. Wang Lui, who is currently studying for PhD at Beijing University in Beijing, explained us about the latest announcements released from the universities for starting the semesters again.
Currently, the students are still on New Year holiday, but because of the coronavirus outbreak in the last mid-December, the opening dates for the universities have unlimitedly been postponed, and they will announce the exact dates later. Some universities are working on to provide online lectures for undergraduate and postgraduate studies. Even though the holidays are over and some of Beijing residents going back to work, employees from other provinces can only work through online.
According to Wang Lui, the New Year holidays for the students are usually from 28 January to 15 February. Currently, there are 8 Myanmar students in his university, and all of their health are stable condition, and the university is taking care of their living situations.
We have regular health checkups for all the students who have left inside the campus. Once a week, the university officials come to our dorm rooms to check on our health and give free masks and bread and remind us how to stay healthy and safe from infection.
Even though the outbreak is already over a month, the grocery and the utilities are still available to buy outside, and the supermarkets and some local markets are still opening with the time limits. He also claimed that sometimes some products might be out of stock, but he has never experienced a surge in product prices. Another Myanmar student currently studying in Beijing, Matiri Yeto, who is currently studying for PhD in Geology and Geophysics at University of Chinese Academy of Science, told us about her experience of living in Beijing during the virus outbreak.
Currently, the university doesn't want us to go outside frequently, so we usually have to order the food and grocery via online. But we cannot buy the products from other provinces since the good cannot be transferred from one city to another. We can still buy the products like grocery from supermarket inside Beijing, but there is a little bit of competition. We have to get up so early and buy the products before it ran out.
Matiri Yeto also mentioned that, in her opinion, the supermarkets will have some kinds of limited sales system since some of the products may have run out a limited amount for today, but they can be bought again tomorrow. She said that the situations have become more stable than before, and the university is constantly taking care of their health and living.
We were so scared at first because we had never experienced this kind of situation. And Chinese New Year got near, so people got scared and started buying everything from the market. So many of the items were out of stock, and we were not able to buy anything. But the university took care of us, and even our professor helped us to buy the grocery during that period. We saw a lot of news about Wuhan. We're worried about our friends there, but now the situation is stable and almost back to normal.
Since the novel coronavirus is very fast in terms of infection, the Chinese government and their people are cooperating and giving the best effort to control the spread of virus. There are daily health report procedures for each and every student in the universities, and also there are some NGOs activities like mask campaigns where you can share extra masks from you and also can ask for masks if you need one. Okay, so that's all about the report now. This is your reporter Dora reporting you from MI Radio, and see you again.
That's a report on Myanmar students' experiences in Beijing during the coronavirus epidemic. Italian embassy is to organize the second Italian food festival on 23rd of February at the garden of the Italian embassy in Yangon. The visitors can enjoy Italian food and wine to be sold by 20 exhibitors in one place. DJ Henry Zin brings us this delicious story.
Italian embassy in Myanmar is bringing the Italian food festival in Yangon for the second time in a row. It is the festival which will bring the Italian restaurants, importers, and distributors of Italian food and beverages together at one place. The general public can have the opportunity to visit Italian embassy, where the festival takes place on 23rd February. For this year, there will be more exhibitors who are both the previous participants and the new ones to join. At the press conference held on 11 February, Italian ambassador to Myanmar, Her Excellency Mrs. Alessandra Schiavo, explained further details of the festival.
We will have even more participants this year compared to last year. Some of them are the ones that we already had last year, but we also have new groups who asked us, knocked on our door, asking to participate. This event is important also to support, I think, the Myanmar economy. The fact that there are new importers of Italian food and wine is a sign of growth, not only of the awareness of the quality of the Italian products, but also of the growth of the Myanmar market itself and then of Myanmar economic operators. So this is a sign of continuous hope and growth for the country, and we really look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks. We'll have about 20 exhibitors, and they will bring many more Italian wines. We will also organize a beautiful wine masterclass about the history and the evolution of Tuscanian wine. We'll have other wine importers also we didn't have last year. We will have the 4 Italian restaurants in town which asked us to participate. We will have coffee, we will have ice cream, we will have pizza, we will have pasta, we will have rice, salads, we will have cold cuts, so prosciutto and salame, ham and salame. We'll have many different kinds of cheese, and we will have also ongoing mozzarella of the spot. And an important feature, which is a news of the festival this year, is that we will also have kids entertainment. We will have pizza making for the kids, and also wine drawings which are connected with the winemaking and with the history of winemaking in Italy.
There will be wine master classes, wine scent games, fresh mozzarella and cheese making on the spot, and visitors will have fun discovering about the origins of the products and culture and tradition of Italian eating habits.
So we will have more than 20 wines at the festival, so people can come and try the wines and just have a glass of wine, and we'll also pair the wines with amazing Italian foods like freshly made pasta, so people can come and learn about the culture of wine and the Italian culture as well, and how wines can be paired with foods. Italy has the most number of grape varieties of any country in the world. They've got thousands of wines from different regions, and each region has their own culture and their own foods and their own wines and their own grape varieties. Just like in Myanmar, if you go to Kachin State or Shan State, you will see different cuisines than if you see in Yangon. So Italy is very similar in that way. So people can come and learn about the different cultures and the history of Italian wines.
The visitors can enjoy foods and wines at reasonable and promotional prices provided by the exhibitors. The exhibitors are comprised of not only foreign distributors but also local importers.
Personally, I want our Myanmar people try to taste the different foods from the other countries around the world. So I have imported the Italian cheese and meat from Italy. We participated in the first festival, and this will be the second time for us. In the previous year festival, I saw many Italians coming to the festival to enjoy their own foods and wines, and many other foreigners as well. Many Myanmar people also came and enjoyed the different and new Italian foods. This will be the great opportunity which provide different and amazing Italian foods and wines at one place.
Italian embassy hopes that from this festival, Myanmar people can understand better about the diversity of Italian foods, and it is aimed to strengthen the people-to-people tie.
This is a celebration of friendship. No, it's not only about food, it's really about friendship between Italy and Myanmar.
The Italian Food Festival will be open to the public free of entrance charge on 23rd February from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Garden of Italian Embassy in Yangon. That's all for now. This is Dora Suisin reporting from MI Radio.
That's a report on the second Italian Food Festival that's coming soon to Yangon. And here's the last report on the improvement of Myanmar libraries. Libraries play an important role in creating a healthy community. Digital libraries are the combination of technology, together with information resources to allow access easier than physical resources. Myanmar Library Association helps the citizens in reading and the development of providing an access of information to all over the country together with advanced technology. Soirana and Pomo will tell us more.
Libraries play an important role in creating a healthy community. The collections of sources of education, enlightenment, and entertainment are kept in one place, which is called a library. Libraries provide expensive resources, especially books, and like periodicals, electronic databases. People can introduce their ideas at libraries by reading books and making research with all the data stored in libraries. Libraries offer higher support for education and study. As the library is concerned with education, schools' libraries are also supporting every student to get wider knowledge and better mindsets. The presence of good librarians who will handle the good libraries are also necessary. Librarians have to select good resources, catalog, and classify them and maintain the library materials. They also have to control the databases and information systems wall to access information. For the nation's emerged librarians, 2012 ceremony of paying respect to librarians, organized by Myanmar Library Association, was held at the Diamond Jubilee Hall on 8 February. Digital libraries are the combination of technology together with information resources to allow access easier than the physical resources. It offers the connection of people with formal, informal, and professional learning missions. Dr. Pongwe, former Central Library Intendant, shared how libraries in Myanmar introduced the digitization processes.
I
worked at Department of History for 35 years and went to France with government scholarship plan. When I came back here, I took charge in University Central Library at 1998. There were only the process of render service and reading for book and digitization system occur after 1 year later. We even have the very first newspaper of Myanmar and Asian book here in this library, and it can be processed in the render service, so digitization is immersed to show the heritage of literature.
Mang Mangso, founder of Save the Library, said,
Libraries have improved a lot and changed into community-based, which will fill the information gap within the society. We created Save the Library application with a collection of data and e-resources. We aimed at the union of libraries from all over the country by connecting each other and the information accessed on this application. Also, one can get the information about the literature talks and any other events concerning with literature.
Myanmar Library Association is a non-governmental organization and founded in 1990, aimed to offer helps for every citizen in reading and the development of providing an access of information to all over the country, together with the advanced technology. Tomya Sanying, Vice President 1 of Myanmar Library Association, said.
ကျောင်းစာကြည့်တိုက်များရဲ့ဗီဒီယိုများเนาะစာအုပ်ဗီဒီယိုများပိတ်ထားတယ်တော့ခတ်ထားတယ်ဒီအခြေအနေကိုပြန်လဲရှင်းသန်
We started raising the 10 school libraries with the support of NGOs and INGOs. Now the Ministry of Education provides help for the reborn of 50 school libraries and also planning to reach 115 schools from all over the country this year. MLA is working for the improvements in libraries, the increase in skillful librarians.
For those who have interest in library and information studies, there is also a one-month-long workshop on how the libraries are circulating in May and December of every year at school libraries, community libraries, and academic libraries.
That's all the reports on Myanmar Today. You know, the world is constantly hit by natural disasters, facing health crises with virus outbreaks, climate change at its peak, animals dying at an alarming rate, and things are escalating so quickly that I believe we should start doing something to save the only planet we live in. And to keep up with what's happening around the world, let's take a turn to some international news. The outbreak of the novel coronavirus in China this January saw people suffering from fever, cough, shortness of breath, and even severe pneumonia. But these are only symptoms which could be caused by other diseases. So, how do we test for a virus that we haven't seen before? We have a video here. Take a look.
Scientists in China sequenced the virus genome and made it available to the world on January the 10th. This means we know the entire RNA sequence of the new coronavirus. It allows us to compare it with other virus strains in this family and find what's unique. In other words, what is this distinctive signature? If this signature can be found in the sample, that means the virus exists. But how is this done? Scientists will copy small pieces from this distinctive fragment of DNA, what they called primers. They then heat up the sample to separate the strands of all DNA inside. If there are any traces of the new coronavirus, the primer will grab onto it and start to make copies. One DNA becomes two, two becomes four, until there are billions of copies. Testing on the highly infectious coronavirus needs to be undertaken in a lab with high biosafety levels, usually within the country's disease control authority. There are 4 levels. Only labs with protection level 3 and level 4 are allowed to test such virus. But we don't have many of these labs available. That's why testing has been relatively slow, especially during the outbreak. China has announced that CT screening of lungs would now be part of the standard diagnosis process, along with nucleic acid test. This serves as a double check in case the test fails. It's a new process. The more we know about this virus, the faster we can track it down.
39 Vietnamese migrants found in the back of a truck in Britain last year died of lack of oxygen and overheating, police said on Tuesday, citing provisional autopsy results. The victims were found dead in a refrigeration trailer in the county of Essex, east of London, on October 23rd last year after having been transported by ferry from Belgium. The police said they had made 2 more arrests in connection with the death and wanted to know more about 2 similar journeys made on 11th of October and 18th of October. They said a 22-year-old man had been arrested in Northern Ireland on Sunday on suspicion of manslaughter and facilitating unlawful immigration. Tensions escalated Tuesday between Syria's government and rebel backer Turkey, as 51 Syrian soldiers were killed in northwest Syria, and Ankara warned of a heavy price for any attacks on its forces after Russian-supported Syrian government forces had made gains in their campaign to eliminate the last insurgent bastion in the country. The Turkish Defense Ministry cited sources on the ground, adding that 2 Syrian tanks and 1 ammunition store were destroyed as well. Hours before, a war monitor reported that Syrian government forces seized control of the main Aleppo to Damascus highway running through the embattled northwest province of Idlib for the first time since the early days of the civil war in 2012. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Take good care of your health and remember to wash your hands, practice good hygiene, and drink lots of water. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.